खुदा में रज़वी हो।
मदीना आ गया, अब देर क्या है सिर्फ इतनी सी। मदीना आ गया, अब देर क्या है सिर्फ इतनी सी। तो खाली कर ये दिल का घर मदीना आने वाला है। खाली कर ये दिल का घर मदीना आने वाला है। फलक शायद ज़मीन पर रह गया खाके गुजर बनकर। सुभान अल्लाह, सुभान अल्लाह। फलक शायद ज़मीन पर रह गया खाके गुजर बनकर। मुझे है राह में अख्तर मदीना आने वाला है। फिजाएं महकी महकी है, हवाएं भीगी भीगी हैं। फिजाएं महकी महकी हैं, हवाएं भीगी भीगी हैं। बसी है कैसे मुश्किल तब मदीना आने वाला है। कमर आया है शायद उनके तलबों की जिया लेने। कमर आया है शायद उनके तलबों की जिया लेने। भिशा है चांद का बिस्तर मदीना आने वाला है। मोहम्मद के गदा कुछ फर्श वाले ही नहीं, देखो मोहम्मद के गदा कुछ फर्श वाले ही नहीं, देखो वो आता है शहे खावर मदीना आने वाला है। गुबारे राह अनवर किस कदर पर नूर है अख्तर। गुबारे राह अनवर किस कदर पर नूर है अख्तर। तनी है नूर की चादर मदीना आने वाला। आगे शरीफ with this beautiful kalam written by Murshid Kareem, Ashiq Izar, Naib Hausul Wara, Huzur Sayyidi wa Sanadi Sardar Ta'ib Sharia Rahbar Tariqa radiyallahu anhu took us into the Mubarak pathways of Madinatul Munawwara. But only if we understood what each of these words meant. It's a long kalam, very long kalam that Huzur Ta'ib Sharia wrote in Mushaf Sharif, read to you today. I was going to talk about something else, but I'm going to divert the topic in this direction. Because it is the time of invalid Thomas holidays and many people are going to Madina Sharif, Umrah and Ziyarat, etc. Allah bless them all the Ahl Sunnah who are going. Allah give them a Maqbool Umrah and Hadri, and may Allah take all of us over and over in the court of the beloved Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Like somebody read once a share in front of Hazrat Maulana Abdul Alim Siddiqui Mirati Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi. They said, Madine jao, phir aao, Madine phir jao, phir aao. They went on reading this share like this, and he said, ऐसे करो कि मदीने जाओ फिर ना आओ। मदीने जाओ फिर ना आओ, उसी में दरोजा तमाम हो जाए। May I go to Medina and not come back? May my life end in this very manner. And his dua was accepted. Today he is resting in Jummah Lecture. My discussion over the last few weeks was about the Iman and how important it is to strengthen your Iman, and how that your Iman reflects in your actions. It's very evident that Iman reflects in the actions of a person. That if your Iman is strong, then you will find that the actions will be positive and clean and pure. Iman is strong, you will find the person in the ibadat of Allah. Iman is strong, you will find the person not being miserly to spend in the way of Allah. Iman is strong, you will find the person being kind and compassionate towards those around him. Iman is strong, you will find him at the graves of his deceased making dua for them. Iman is strong, you will find him not wanting to see anything else. When he wants to see, he will want to see the Jummah Lecture of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now somebody may question and say that you are saying if the Iman is strong, then the Iman reflects in the actions. How about the Bad Mazhab? You see them reading no more namaz than the other people sometimes. That doesn't count. For there to reflect, there needs to be Iman. For there to reflect, there needs to be Iman. I'm talking about Iman, I'm not talking about those who exercise. I'm talking about those with Iman. Those who love Allah and His beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam from the depths of their heart. Okay, this is Iman. When your Iman reflects in your actions, then your lips will say those words and your pen will write those words, which are the reflections and the manifestations of Iman. And that is why Huzur al-Tabi Sharia, when he said these words from the Kalam which Hafiz Sharif read today, in the one share he says, very beautifully, he says, Falak Shayad Zameen par rah gaya khake guzar bankar. I don't know if many people will understand, but I'm going to quickly explain it. He says, when you go to Medina Sharif, and you look at the ground, don't worry about it. The sky is something else. Look at the Zameen. Look at the dust of Medina. Look at the dust of Medina. He says, when you look at it, it feels as if Falak Shayad Zameen par rah gaya khake guzar bankar. बिछे है राह में अख्तर मदीना आने वाला है. Now I'm going to just give you the explanation, not the actual translation, although there is an entire translation. The entire kitab of Huzur Taj Sharia of his Naats, Safina Bakshish, alhamdulillah, we have translated in English also, and in poetry also. So if you ever want to read it, pass Imam Mustafa Raza Research Center, you get a free copy, or go online www.noori.org and download it free for yourself, just for your benefit. But the point that I want to make is, he says, look, this is when Iman reflects in what you do. He says, Falak Shayad Zameen par rah gaya khake guzar bankar. He says, when you look at the ground and the sand of Medina, don't look at it like you look at the ground of any other place on earth. Don't look at it like how you look at the Zameen in your yard. Don't look at it like how you look at the ground or the road on which you walk in your country. When you look at that ground, then look that you are looking at that ground and that earth in which the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is resting. This is that ground on which the beloved Nabi kept his Mubarak feet. This is that ground on which Hazrat Bilal Habshi stood and gave azan. This is that ground on which Abu Bakr, Umar, Osman and Ali radiallahu anhu walked. This is that ground on which Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu got the gift of hadith. This is that ground where Hassan ibn Thabit stood on the mimbar and praised the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and refuted the enemies of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he said this ground is very Mubarak. And there is, and let me tell you, there is the consensus of the Akabirin on this, that the dust, the actual dust, the part of the Zameen on which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is resting, that place which is the most exalted palace of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Rawza Anwar, the actual dust on which Rasul Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam is resting, that Zameen, that piece of the earth is more exalted than the Arsh. There is consensus on this of the Akabiri, that piece is more exalted than the Arsh. So think how exalted is Medina Munawwara. Think how exalted is that ground of Medina. So thus Huzur Taj Sharia radiallahu anhu says that Falak Shayad Zameen par rah gaya khake guzar bankar. Piche hai raah mein akhtar Medina aane wala hai. He says, when I look at the ground of the land of Medina, then it seems that the sky came down to make ziyarat and stayed here, it didn't go back. It seems that the sky came down to the earth to make ziyarat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so it didn't go back, it remained here, because these dust particles look like akhtar, they look like stars. The dust particles of Medina, they glitter like stars. It seems as if the sky came down with everything and it stayed here, it didn't go back. That's why the particles look like stars in Medina. This is love. What is this? This is love. Long discussion. But one other thing that he says, Subhanallah, he says, Muhammad ke gada kuch farsh wale hi nahi. Dekho, Muhammad ke gada kuch farsh wale hi nahi. Dekho. What must you see? वो आता है शहे खावर Medina आने वाला है. He said, Subhanallah, you must understand very beautifully. I told you about the moon and whatever the other shares in that kalam. They tell you so much. But this is showing how Iman manifests in what a man says. How Iman manifests in what a man writes. This manifestation is because of the strength of Iman. And what is the thing that is the real Iman? It is to love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then only a person is a banda of Allah. Always remember, as Allah Hazrat said and our Mashaykh said, and I'm telling you the same thing which they said. Until a man is not Abdul Mustafa, he can't be Abdullah. Until you are not a slave of Rasulullah, you can't be a true servant of Allah. Because the Nabi came to you and told you, La ilaha illallah. Okay, the Nabi said, La ilaha illallah. His Rabb said, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Okay, you must understand this. You must understand this. He says, Muhammad ke gada kuch farsh wale hi nahi. He says that don't think that the slaves of the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are only the earthlings, farsh wale. Don't think they are only the people that live on the earth. वो आता है शहे खावर मदीना आने वाला है. Look there, you see the king of the east even comes. Who is the king of the east? The sun. Shahe Khabar, the king of the east. Until he doesn't come out, no light. But even he's coming to Medina, his light comes from the court of Rasulullah. And as we said before, the sun doesn't rise in Medina to brighten Medina. The sun rises in Medina to take the light to brighten itself. And when these things are written, when these words are written by the beloveds of Allah, then they are written because they reflect, they manifest the iman of the one who said it. They manifest the love of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you would find this in the actions of the companions of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I'm going to give you one example today, and I'm going back to actually I was on my discussion since I started again. We talked about iman and the reflection of iman. And I'm going to just now from this kalam of Huzur Taj Sharia to tell you, for you to understand the meaning of love, for you to understand how iman reflects. And when iman reflects positively in a man, then you will find that one of his most important moves and one of his most important practices and actions is that he follows those in whom iman manifested before him in the real sense. That you will find. He will not divert from that way. He will not leave that way, because he knows that the manifestation of his iman is because of the manifestation of those who came before him. Because of the manifestation of the iman of those who came before him. I'm going to give you one example today. And the example I'm going to give you is Khalifatul Muslimin, Hazrat Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Because we have entered the month of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. This is the month of the Wisal and the Shahadat of Hazrat Wisal of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So we're going to talk, I'm going to give you the example to show how this manifests in actions. Okay? When Hazrat Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu left this world, and I want you to listen with the ears of your heart. Listen with the ears of the heart. We listen with the ears of the head, it goes in on one side and comes out before that. When you listen with the ears of the heart, it embeds it in the heart. People want to use the ears of the heart to listen to haram. They want to embed sin and music and all this khurafat in their hearts. That is why the heart becomes decayed and dies spiritually. If you want a healthy heart, a spiritually healthy heart, then listen with the ears of the heart. See with the eyes of the heart. See that which you're supposed to see. So Hazrat Sayyiduna Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, when he passed away, who became the Khalifa? Hazrat Sayyiduna Umar Farooq. The first Khalifa of Islam, Hazrat Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Second Khalifa, Hazrat Umar Farooq. Third Khalifa, Hazrat Uthman bin Noori. The fourth Khalifa, Mawla Kainat, Hazrat Ali ibn radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in. Okay? This is the order of the Khilafat, and there is no change in that. Anybody who is against that is misled, is good. Okay? Anybody. Now, when Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq left the world, look at how it manifests. When he journeyed, and look at what a nice journey. Somebody goes on a journey, he goes, and if he doesn't come back, everybody will cry, he died. But Abu Bakr Siddiq's journey was amazing. He went from here to here. He didn't go from here to there. He went from being a Jannati straight into Jannat. Because the Nabi said, Abu Bakr fil Jannah. Okay? Abu Bakr's journey was so unique, radiallahu anhu, that he journeyed from Medina to Medina. He journeyed from Medina to the master of Medina. That is why his journey is so unique. He journeyed from here to rest beside the beloved Rasul. Okay? When Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq left the world physically in apparent form, who became the Khalifa? We said Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Now when Hazrat Umar became the Khalifa, he said to the Muslims, to the Sahaba Ikram, to the people, he said, I want to follow in the footsteps of Abu Bakr. You know, he never used to write initially Khalifa of Rasulullah. He wrote the Khalifa of Rasulullah. This was his adab for Hazrat Abu Bakr. And this was his adab in the court of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? So Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu left the dunya. Hazrat Umar stood up on the minbar and addressed the people. And then he said to the people that I want to follow in the footsteps of Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. So if you see me doing anything which is different from what Abu Bakr did, tell me. If you see me doing anything different from what Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq did, tell me. Today we want to do everything different from what those before us did. We want to do everything different from what the great personalities did, because we think we know better. You do not know better, they know better. They know better. Okay? So Hazrat Umar said that, and if you see me, then, and if you find me not doing something, which he did. One is if you see me doing anything that he did not do, tell me. But if you see me not doing something which he did, remind me about that also. I will try to attempt and do all of that. So one person stood up and he said, oh Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, I'm sure you do everything that he did. But there's one thing that I see you don't do that he used to do. Listen with your heart. Subhanallah. This narration takes my heart to another spot. Every time that I read it or listen to it. And I'm sure you've heard it before, but I'm sharing this to show how Iman manifests. The manifestation of the Iman in the real sense is why a man follows the pious predecessors. So he said that there is one thing that he used to do which I don't see you doing. Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu anhu said, what is that? He said to him, that Sahabi says to Hazrat Abu Umar, I used to see Hazrat Abu Bakr every day used to take a container of curry. He used to take a container of some curry, some salan, some gravy, and roti, bread. And he used to go into the wilderness, into the desert. And he used to come back after a long time. But I do not know who he would go to feed. I saw him going to do this daily, but I have not seen you do it any time. Now that you are the Khalifa, you said, if you see me not doing something that Abu Bakr Siddiq did, tell me. So I'm just telling you, this is one thing he used to do, is something personal in his life. But I don't know where he went or what he did. I would just see him going to the wilderness, into the desert, with a bowl, with a container of some curry and some roti. That's all I saw. Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu anhu said, from today I too will do this. From today, I'll say medical. Now, where is he going to go? Where Abu Bakr Siddiq went, nobody knows. But look at the yaqeen and the manifestation of his iman. That I don't know where Abu Bakr went and what he did and who he used to feed. But I'm just going to take the container of curry and the bread and go into the wilderness. Let me go. So Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, what he did that day, he took a container of bread, of curry, and he took a bread and the roti, and he went into the wilderness. And he tried to find someone or anyone that would probably be deserving whom Hazrat Abu Bakr used to feed. He doesn't know. And he went out looking and he searched and the entire day went. And he couldn't find anybody, curry in hand, bread in hand, he couldn't find anybody. That he thought, वो मिल नहीं सका कि वो कौन शख्स है. जब लौटने की तैयारी कर रहे थे, when he was about to return back to the glorious and Mubarak city, he heard from a cave in a mountain the groaning of somebody. Look at how Allah guides. If you are sincere in following those before you with sincerity, the pious. So he says, I heard the groaning of somebody coming from a cave in a mountain. So Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu anhu went to the cave, and what does he see? Allahu Akbar. He sees a man laying in the grave, in the cave. A man on the zameen, on the ground in the cave. He has no legs and no hands. He has no legs. He has no hands and he is blind. He's lying on the ground and he's making groaning sounds as if in hunger and discomfort. The moment Hazrat Umar saw him, he said, this is where Abu Bakr used to go. He said, this is where Abu Bakr Siddiq was going with a bowl of curry and bread. Indeed, he was going to this man. Allah put in his heart. So he went to him and he didn't say to the man who he was. He didn't say Abu Bakr Siddiq left the dunya. He didn't say who he was because he saw a man with no hands, no legs, blind. He said that, why must I cause him to be aggrieved? If Abu Bakr came to feed him, let me just feed him and go. So he went to him and he broke the bread and he dipped the bread in the curry and then he put it in the mouth of that man who had no hands and no legs and could not see. He put it into his mouth and the man chewed once and he looked, he couldn't see, but he changed his direction to the person who was feeding him and he said, why has Abu Bakr not come today? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. He said, why has Abu Bakr not come today? Has Abu Bakr left this world? Why has Abu Bakr not come today? Has Abu Bakr left this world? Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu looks at the blind man and he says, oh servant of Allah, how do you know that it is not Abu Bakr and Umar? He said, because when Abu Bakr came to feed me, he knew I had no teeth. He would chew the food first. He would put the bread and the curry in his mouth. He would chew it and make it soft. And then he would feed it for me so I could just swallow it. He said, when you did not that, I knew this is not Abu Bakr. Think about it. Look at how Iman manifested in their actions. Look at what the love of the beloved Rasul took them to. Look at their state and their ruhani condition that he followed Hazrat Abu Bakr to that. But look at Hazrat Abu Bakr. Today, we do things for somebody, we think we're doing them a big favor. You do something for Allah's deen, you think you're doing the deen a favor. Learn from these companions in whom the Iman manifested. Look that he went looking out for a man who had no hands and no legs. A man who could not see, but before he fell in, he will chew his food and then put it in his mouth. This, my beloveds, is called compassion. This is called Iman. This is called love for Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Take examples from them. Take lessons from their lives. And today, we say what we say about Palestine. We say about what those Muslims are going through. We say about not being given food to eat. But still off our tables we throw food in the bin. What is happening? What is happening? Why? Are we not grateful for what Allah has given us? Are we not seeing what's happening to our Muslim brothers and sisters in that part of the world? Are we not seeing that they are being bulldozed like animals on the streets? Are we not seeing that they are being killed because they are just reading the kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah? Think about it. Look at your own life. Learn from the lives of the pious. Look at your own life and look at how others are in conditions today. And make shukr for your life. Make shukr that Allah has given us everything. Make shukr that we have healthy hands and legs. That was a man who had no hands and legs. But Abu Bakr Siddiq would go to him because he definitely knew that this man is a true servant of Allah. Today we have hands and legs. We find it difficult to go towards the house of Allah. We find it difficult in our own homes to get up and stand on the musalla because you are too busy watching a series on the box of shaitan. You are too busy watching a cricket match or a football match. If I go, I'm going to miss that match or that this or that. What is happening to us? This is a time to reflect. It is a time to open our eyes before our eyes close. When it will close and won't open, except when we inside the qabr again. Allah give us strength in Iman, true love for Him and His beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And may Allah give us such strong Iman that it manifests in our actions in the true sense. May Allah keep us firm in Mazhab Muhammad, Mazhab Ahl-Sunnah, Maslaki ala Hazrat. Allah keep us with Iman, let us lead the world with Iman. Those who are Allah come, Shifa come, Zid Ajit. Those that have passed away in Ahl-Sunnah, Allah exalt them in Jannat and Ayn. Those that are going through any calamity and difficulty, Allah remove them from the calamities and the difficulties. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on the Muslims of Palestine. May Allah subhanahu